Shopping is hard, right? But there's a better way. Stitch Fix online personal styling makes it easy. I just give my stylist my size, style, and budget preferences. I order boxes when I want and how I want. No subscription required. And she sends just for me pieces, plus outfit recommendations and styling tips. I keep what I love and send back the rest. It's so easy. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/Spotify. That's stitchfix.com/Spotify.
I'm Amy Nicholson, the film critic for the LA Times.
And I'm Paul Scheer, an actor, writer, and director. You might know me from The League, Veep, or my non-eligible for Academy Award role in Twisters.
We love movies, and we come at them from different perspectives.
Yeah, like Amy thinks that, Joe Pesci was miscast in Goodfellas, and I don't.
He's too old. Let's not forget that Paul thinks that Dune 2 is overrated.
It is.
Anyway, despite this, we come together to host Unspooled, a podcast where we talk about good movies, critical hits,
fan favorites, must-sees, and in case you missed them.
We're talking Parasite to Home Alone.
From Grease to The Dark Knight.
We've done deep dives on popcorn flicks. We've talked about why Independence Day deserves a second look.
And we've talked about horror movies, some that you've never even heard of, like Ganja and Hess.
So if you love movies like we do, come along on our cinematic adventure.
Listen to Unspooled wherever you get your podcasts.
And don't forget to hit the follow button.
Hello and welcome to the IGN UK podcast. I'm Alex. I haven't been on the podcast for ages. It's my first time with you, Joe.
Oh, hello.
I've sat near you for a long time. I've wanted to be with you, but this is the first time that I have actually been with you.
Longingly staring through the gaps in our computer monitors.
Absolutely.
That's nice.
How would you describe your podcast persona?
Very, very intelligent and well-informed.
Really? We will see. Also on this podcast, Gav Murphy, how would you describe your podcast persona?
Well, I don't know, just casually gobbing off as if my opinion matters at all.
But your opinion does matter. I care what you say.
Yeah, actually, I haven't been on this podcast for ages. I was just thinking about it. I can't remember the last time I was on.
Is it because Joe has joined us?
It was the first time that I got a keyword countdown.
Was
and
it?
then you just left.
Yeah, just
that was
left,
it.
yeah.
It's over.
I mean, presumably we know, like, we can see where I left the podcast because, I don't know, like, ratings must suggest, God, write down that shit.
To be fair, you don't know that you're not on it until after you've downloaded.
That's a good point. It wouldn't affect it at all.
Because
Gav-free tags, like little explicit tags.
And if you look at the description on iTunes, I think we've still got like Martin and Tom.
Yeah.
So.
It's because there's this weird thing that nobody knows how to change. Well, maybe we should look at that. I've always done the same thing when I've gone, I'm going to look into fixing that, and then gone, right, what's happening now? Oh, podcast is up. It doesn't matter, it's gone.
It's gone through the veil now. It's like antiques. Like, they're just shit chairs for a while, and then they're cool old things. That's what that is. It's like it's a vintage.
Talking about shit chairs, I think these are on their last legs.
They've only got one leg each.
You don't You don't like the table because it's too wobbly.
That's not me. I don't mind it. I like it. I've got a little love for it. But lots of people don't like it because it wobbles. But as long as you sit away from it, it's fine. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to sit away. And then this chair's fucking having a go.
What's that fucking chair? Just sit still.
I can't sit still, though. I've got some form of something in me.
Do a Russell Brand and stand up for this whole podcast.
Please
no.
Just get your torso into the shot.
These guys did a live podcast standing up before.
What?
I'd just be you'd just be able to see how much I sweat just from nerves.
Wait, did you have mic stands or were you freeholding?
We held them
like
with our
Morrissey,
hands,
walking around flicking.
They didn't even have that. They had like Britney Spears mics. Yeah.
Yes, you are right. We had.
What?
Yes, yeah. But I don't mind holding a microphone with my hand. I'm able to do that.
Like Tim Cook presenting Apple stuff. You standing up there, talking about games.
Just like him.
I actually wouldn't be able to sit still. I can barely stay still when I'm sitting in a chair, let alone have an entire stage to walk around.
It was good though, because you tend to get more energy when you're standing up.
I was going to say,
definitely,
it would add dynamism if people were walking around and doing actions and kung fu kicking. That'd be great.
If we were doing all those things.
Exactly. I'm going to go back.
Actually, we had a no, unfortunately not. We just had a thermometer that looked like a penis. That was the main prop that we had on stage.
It's weird. Is there any? Do I need that explained, or is that just what it was?
We were talking about the hottest stories of the week, and we made the thermometer look like a penis.
That's in the IGN UK podcast, that more prop comedy. That's what we want.
Like Carrot Top.
Hey, it was our first live one.
We should do more, because I want to see what it's like to stand up during one.
Yeah.
I do a monthly live podcast, but I absolutely shit myself as soon as I go on stage. So it's just like I glue to my chair.
Why?
And then I hate moving. I don't know, just nerves, I suppose. And I've been doing them sober for a while as well, which is hard.
Especially for the audience.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we talk about what we're here for?
Yes.
So Uncharted 4 came out this week.
Yeah.
You've downloaded it to your console.
Yeah, it sure is on it.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
What about all the patches?
Oh, well, no, they're all done. I did that overnight, so I can go...
It's
well, I was
smaller,
gonna
right? The actual patch is really small.
I thought the multiplayer was meant to be huge or something on it.
It's 5 gig.
That's not that bad.
That's bigger than all of the Overwatch beta.
Yes, that is true.
It's pretty big.
Well, yeah, but I've had 70 gig downloads and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Assassin's Creed Syndicate was 70 gigs or something.
Yeah, but that's for the full
ridiculous.
game, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But
so I got the download version of it, and it was 52 gig. 12-hour install.
Yeah.
But it does that kind of smart thing of it realises that my internet is supplied by Sky and therefore is utter shite.
Right.
So it was like, okay, here's the first bit for you to play.
Yeah.
But you play it and then it's like...
You always outpace it.
Exactly. And then there was a bit where it was 15 minutes to the next part, but I could hear the next piece of dialogue going on in the background.
Oh, that's annoying.
I don't think it's supposed to be like that.
I'm not sure if Krupa told this story on the podcast before, because I know he's talking about the Uncharted event, but we went to an Uncharted event and Bruce Straley sort of introed it, and he said basically the reason they had to do that is because they filled the Blu-ray disc. There was 500 meg left on the disc.
Well, that's why I thought there was so much more.
Yeah. No.
So how did they do Assassin's Creed then?
God knows. I mean, I guess you have to download bits of that as well.
Yeah.
But
maybe.
Yeah, I remember that, speaking of the installation thing, when I downloaded Arkham Knight, it doesn't download, it seemingly doesn't download autosaves. So when I got to the end of the first portion, which is the big reveal of the villain in that, or, one of the villains in that game. Can we spoil it now? I don't know. Probably.
What, that is the Arkham Knight?
No, not the Arkham Knight. No, the other guy.
Maybe not.
All right, anyway, someone else turns up, and then it just stops. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll turn it off, I'll come back. Just deletes it, had to play it all again. And then and you're just like, oh, for fuck's sake, what's the point in this?
Yeah. I don't think I would have played it again.
Yeah, no. I thought it was going to be quick. But
yeah.
Well, you just turn off Arkham Knight forever. That's me done.
Well, how long is it?
Like an hour.
No, an hour's all right.
Yeah, but it's too much.
I lost everything from Fallout New Vegas. I lost about 7 hours worth of stuff. Oof. And I was like, I really wanted to play it, but I can't play that again. I walked into, basically, it was one of these shops where you take off all your ammo and take off all your armor and your guns and leave them in this box outside and go and see this lady. Went in, and then when I came back out, I opened the box and there was nothing in the box. I thought, oh, it's part of the storyline. I started talking to everyone going, where's my guns? And everyone was not saying anything. I was like, wise guys, eh? But then I spoke to every single person around. I was like, what if it's just not meant to be like this? Jesus. And then I looked online, somebody else had the same problem as well. Right. Just all my stuff was gone forever.
Always the thing in Fallout games, isn't it?
Yeah.
They just go wrong in weird ways that make you question your own sanity.
But then sometimes I like that about them, because you get these really weird little things that happen to you and you think, oh, this has only happened to me.
Yeah, this is the one bit of story no one else got.
But when it's got rid of all my stuff, I should have just carried on playing the game and see what it was like to play in my pants. I think you are down to your pants in it. Well, I was.
I think you play games wrong. I really
I do, yeah.
Pretty much any game is like, I've ended up in my pants again. What?
Yeah.
If I see any Uncharted screenshots where you've managed
I was going to say, yeah. So, are you naked in Uncharted?
I wish. That'd be really good.
Well, you might be.
I would have liked to have had because the clothing, the outfits are really good in it. I would have liked to maybe if when you play through the second time, you can choose your outfits and stuff.
There's multiplayer stuff.
Yeah.
There's different.
That looks really good as well. It seems like quite a lot of stuff going on in there. But yeah, no, I do play games in a weird way. I find strange things. Like I told Joe earlier, I found that you could, if you flash your flashlight in Uncharted in someone's face, they kind of go, oh, what are you doing? And I was like, I wonder how long if you actually say anything. So I was there for about 10 minutes, shining my torch in my brother's eyes. And I was like, this is not how this game's meant to be played. I've only got an hour to play over lunch.
I wonder if the batteries will die. Just sit here.
See? That's not a bad shout.
Yeah, it's like the first time you see I think, what was it, Uncharted 2, the first time he did the thing where he puts his hand against walls and stuff, and he always looks really weird. The first time it did that, I was like, I'm just going to do that on all the walls. I'm just going to be weird wall walker Drake.
I love that though. Like every time I play a game now, and the character doesn't put their hand up on the walls, I walk past. I go,
fake.
Yeah.
Fake.
It is. That's the thing that I like about it the most. Is and I did a video piece about it a few weeks ago, but about it's the small details that. Yeah. Like Naughty Dog are exceptional at polishing their games to the absolute limit. The game itself so far, I'm enjoying it. Like, I'm sure we'll get criticised, but it's a good game. But I still feel like I've kind of seen it before.
I don't know. I love the series so much, and I love those characters so much. 3? I loved it. Yeah.
3.
That's the thing.
It was forgettable.
I think. 2 is like the better storyline, like really, really good. So it's never going to be as good as that.
Also, 2 did stuff that had never been done before. Yeah. And each game's since then, I feel has been a retread to some extent.
Yeah. Well, 2's the first time that anyone, instead of going, it's, Sony's Tomb Raider, they started going, everything now is this. It's when Tomb Raider started copying Uncharted instead. That switch around is a landmark moment.
Yeah.
So I think that is an awesome thing about Naughty Dogs is they can just take their time with everything and just be like, we'll put this back as many times as we need, but we've got so much money. But I find it really fun as well. I find it way more fun to play than the third one. Because by the third one, I did kind of feel like you, where I was like, I love the characters, I love the story, dialogue's still making me laugh, but the gameplay, I was like, it feels really sort of similar. But whereas this, like, the stealth bits, initially I thought, when I first played the preview of it, I thought, don't know how I feel about that. But I actually really like it.
It takes a while to get, because when you play it in isolation, the same as when I did at the pre-release event. Yeah. You're so used to not playing it in that way. Yeah. It feels massively, but actually it's introduced in quite a neat way. Yeah. And like going through the tall grass and stuff like that. Yeah. Works really well. And you can get away from the enemies pretty quickly. Yeah. I think I'm in almost the same spot as you.
I think we are, yeah. In Scotland.
Like Chapter 8, Scotland.
Yeah. We're super simple,
And then the other piece where the little like moon bits look like a penis drawing on the wall.
Yeah. But the thing I liked about it is when you play... Like, I really like Metal Gear Solid 5. Yep. But when things go tits up in that, you still get the thing where you feel bad that they've gone wrong and people have seen you and it starts to turn into a bullet thing. With this, I don't feel so bad because it's like Nathan Drake is an idiot. Yeah. And he's the joke, the entire thing is he's an idiot and he's doing things the wrong way all the time. So it was a bit in Scotland where I'm taking people down in the tall grass, kicking people off ledges, which is hilarious. Yeah. Like, because I was like hiding, jumped over, run over, kicked someone, and jumped behind a box, and no one saw me. I was like, this is brilliant.
Also, like when your brother or when Sully's with you, like you're hiding in the grass and he's just standing running past someone and they don't notice them. It's like,
I haven't experienced that yet.
I definitely have. Like they were walking, one of the guards was walking towards an arch and I was on one side of the arch, he was on the other, and then right at the last minute he decided to run around to my side of the arch in plain view and was not spotted.
I haven't seen that yet.
So it'd be dreadfully unfair if like your AI mate got spotted and did you over.
Well,
but at the same time,
it's that Elizabeth in Bioshock Infinite thing where it's just like, well, no one really cares. No one wants her to die. It would be really annoying if she was, so just let her be invincible and deal with it. Which is all right. Like, but I'm kind of fine with that.
The thing that I like about the stealth bits is what I was just saying is like it doesn't feel like I'm being naughty when I'm just like, right, I'm hiding, and I see 3 guys grouped together and there's one of those like gas canisters there. I'm just like, well, this is happening, and just chuck it at them and then shock it, and then they all blow up. And then because then afterwards your brother's like, well, that could have gone better, and it's like it's kind of like a laugh that he's sort of done it. So I don't feel, especially when you see like these big red canisters, there's 2 people standing next to it. It's like, well, I could climb all the way over there, or I could just shoot that and blow the 2 of them up, and then I will have to kill some people.
See, I'm trying to play it stealthy, because that's how I did Metal Gear. But you are right. Yeah. I haven't managed... there's a couple of bits that I managed to get through.
Oh, that's good. Was it kind of, killing everyone in the bit? That's awesome.
Yeah. So but that's how I did the whole of Metal Gear 5. Apart from the bits where you can't do that.
Yeah.
Does it feel like it's drawing on what they did with The Last of Us then? When it's like, you should be trying to do stealth, but if it goes wrong, it's actually quite fun to get yourself out of that situation.
I don't feel like there is as much at stake in Uncharted as there was in... because like I was genuinely terrified of the clickers and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And, like, when you kind of alerted them, you're like...
It was really hard as well.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas this, as Gav said, I've seen a few people criticising the gunplay. I actually think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm still getting my division and controls the wrong way around, so when I should be going to cover, I'm jumping over it. My fault, though.
Are you still playing The Division?
Yes.
Jesus.
That's good, though.
I've gone a long way down the path. I need to get up to a level, and it's like I've put so much into it.
But you realise that's the point. They're going to keep adding higher and higher levels, and you're stuck forever.
I've seen the next level cap, and I'm so far away from it. I don't know if I can be bothered.
No.
The thing that I've seen the same kinds of people that I always see sort of the same like websites and journalists and like just notable people who are into games being part of the exact same conversation when a game comes out. So a game will come out and there'll be something to do with it. And we've talked about on this podcast before in the same kind of way of like when that Assassin's Creed was just wrecked. And it's the same kind of people who are just like, they'll focus on, there'll be that one story to do with the game. Like this is the thing to do with that game. And it's always the same people that are focusing on it. So, and then as soon as Uncharted 4 came out, some people, like in some people's reviews are like, oh, I don't think the gunplay is very good. Yeah. And then I just saw, you just see these people going, oh, well, I like Uncharted, but the gunplay's not very good. It's just like, you don't really think that.
I think it's all right.
Like, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
the one thing that, and this may well change, is that I'm not that bothered about the story too much right now.
Okay.
It feels like, what, we 2 to 3 hours in, maybe?
Yeah, if that, yeah.
Right, yeah. And I want to, and we're starting now to find out more about Avery, who's the pirate. The whole thing is, that's the stuff I want to see him play and get to.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, there's a lot of backstory. I won't go into too much detail because you're going to go there, and it's telling, it's obviously building up Drake for a finale, full, whatever happens at the end of it. I don't know. Yeah. But they're showing you a side of him that you haven't really seen before, and it's kind of interesting.
I actually like how, this is not a spoiler, but I like how he's different around his brother than he is with other people. Yeah. And you kind of feel like, did you have like a friend when you were growing up that was like a naughty kid that you weren't really meant to hang out with? It was me. Yeah. I was the kid. Right. But like there was this, I remember like there was this naughty kid that I used to kind of like show off to at school.
Yeah.
Like, and I kind of feel like Drake is doing the same thing with his brother.
Yeah. That's really cute.
Like, and he's definitely different around his brother than we've seen him in the last 3 games. Yeah. Like, he's always been like the cool, like, the top guy. Whereas here, you sort of see that he's a little bit fragile around his brother. And I think that, I don't know, I'm really interested to see where that goes. I think I've already worked out how it's going to end in my head just because I've been thinking about it so much. But
and also like, the relationship that he has with Elena as well. And like, the stuff that happens there just before he goes away, that something bad is going to happen, I would assume.
The Indiana Jones comparison is a lazy point at this point, but that does sound just exactly like The Last Crusade.
That's
how he is with his dad. That's the same thing. But I really like that.
But with this, it's not so much like he changes in a way like a father and son. This is more like you can tell that Drake knows that his brother's bad news. Yeah. Like, I'm assuming like his brother is bad news because the way that he acts and stuff like that. Also, he smokes, so
exactly.
You know he's a bad guy. Yeah. If they smoke or they deal in plutonium, they're bad. They're bad guys.
Is that what happens?
No. Or in 80s film, he's got a ponytail.
But they're blonde and German. Long-haired, blonde and German. Always a henchman.
But I just kind of like how he's making excuses for his brother and stuff all the time. And there's a really good scene early on where his brother's kind of talking about Sully, and you think like anybody else talks about Sully that like you're angry because Sam's talking about Sully in any kind of way that isn't just Sully's the best person in the world. Don't ever talk about Sully ever again. Yeah. But Nate doesn't. He kind of sticks up for him, but he kind of does it in like a really wet way, and then they get interrupted, and then everything's fine. But you're thinking like, who is this? Who is this guy that's coming into this game? Like, we've played 3 games, with Sully and Nate, and this guy's coming between them now. Like, I love it. I think it's really good.
Oh, that's quite cool.
Like, I think I'm going to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
It feels like it's a bit slow to begin with.
Okay, right, yeah.
Like, in fact, I have seen a few people saying that the first act is a bit...
Okay.
And it definitely feels like it's gearing up. But my God, in terms of showing off the power of the PS4, it's like there's nothing else like it.
Is your PS4 making a noise though when it's being played?
I'm playing with headphones, I don't know.
Because I only noticed last night when I was playing, my PS4 and my TV is right at the foot of my bed. When I was lying in bed, and it's like, this is so noisy. It sounds like it's taken off.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Krupa said his sounded like it was going to explode, and he went to like fiddle with the wires at the back to see if anything was wrong, and just like burnt his hand. It sounds like it's pretty intense.
Last of Us killed my PS3.
Did he really?
Like, yeah, because I was playing that, and then like that was making a massive noise, and then it just shut down. So I really hope it doesn't happen on my PS4.
Oh, Naughty Dog console killers.
Unbelievable.
This is obviously just pushing it to the limit, which is worrying because you think, how far into this cycle are we?
It's all right. Heard of a little thing called the Neo?
Is coming.
Then have fun with your spaceship console.
Shut up.
Are you looking forward to playing it?
Yeah, like, I'm not an invested Uncharted fan
Right.
at all. Like, I've spent a long time writing about Xbox stuff, so I just never really got around to it. And, like, it's always been something that interests me. And the bits, I played the start of 2, I thought it was great. And I played the start of 3, and I was like, this is cool. So I'm kind of ready for it. But I do worry I'm not going to have any, like, your reaction to Sully and stuff. I know that character, and I know he seems cool, but I have no emotional connection to him at all. I'm just like, he's a cool guy with a moustache. I want him to be my dad. Yeah. Like, that's the only thing I feel.
Yeah.
Like,
and there are like decisions, like dialogue decisions you make based on previous adventures. I don't think they have any impact on the outcome of that conversation.
Yeah.
I just think it's like a little cute nod to like previous games and stuff.
I am quite interested to go in with that feeling though, because then it, like, presumably I'll be getting something different out of it, and I'll be sort of, there's a sense that I'll be judging it on its own merits, and I won't have like the baggage of the other stuff. So maybe I'll go in and be like, this gunplay's great, because I don't have that, like you say, that constant like legacy criticism of bad gunplay in Uncharted, which is easy.
That's a really good point.
From the outside also, it feels like this is the first time they've trusted Nathan as a character. Like, he's always been like this wisecracking dude that everyone's like, he kills so many people. Yeah. And this time they're kind of going, he's got a backstory, he's got a brother, and there's all these different interpersonal things to deal with, which sounds really interesting, and more interesting to me than the old stuff.
Like, there's a couple of moments, like when he's on the sofa with Elena and stuff like that. Like, you know, they've never kind of treaded that kind of ground before. So
I'm into that.
And that stuff's really heavy as well, because you think, like, they initially, this is not spoilers because it's ages ago, like, they initially broke up because, like, they were bored because they tried to stop doing what they were doing, stop the life that they were doing, and then they realised, actually, we love this life that we're doing. And
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Exactly. And that's why they broke up, which is interesting to me then when you go back for 4 and it starts off and they're in this like sort of boring life, because you just think, you guys know this doesn't work for the two of you because you've done it before, and you know that he wants something different, and she does as well. That's the really interesting thing. Like, when you watch those early scenes, you can just see that she's bored of their life. They both are, but they've made this sort of sacrifice because they go, right, you know, we're going to die if we carry this on. So it's interesting to see how she comes to it. And I really, really hope they don't do that just horrible thing where she just becomes like this nagging wife. She's better than that.
I don't think that's going to happen. But we will see.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to playing more.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Exciting stuff. Yeah. The Green Room
is a film. That's out this week in the UK.
I didn't realise it was that quick.
Yeah, it's out this. Yeah, it's been out for ages in the US.
Yeah,
like, absolutely ages.
I remember Chris talking about it a long time ago.
And for some reason, it's only come out this week, but that doesn't matter because it's out, and I think it's probably my film of the year. It's a film. It's the same guy who did Blue Ruin.
Excellent.
You guys have seen that. It's an excellent film. It's really, really good.
So, it's that film all about the beard, right?
Yeah, all about the beard. And
is that why you liked it? You like beards?
No,
I've not seen it.
Basically, I went to see Blue Ruin under the guise of, it was like hey, this film has loads of beards and stuff in it. Like, so I got invited to it by a friend. Who was just like,
you
should come.
Okay.
And because they were doing like beard trimming at the beginning of the screening, so I went, had my beard trimmed, then watch it. The guy's got a beard in Blue Ruin for about 10 minutes.
It's ridiculous.
Like, it's just another rubbish marketing thing where they were just like, what's he got? Beard? Yep, beard trim. It's fine. But it's
you got you down there.
Yeah. When it came out, lots of people were sort of calling this guy sort of, you know, saying like he's sort of the embodiment of like the new Coen brothers. It kind of feels like that, sort of like crime and comedy. Actually, I rewatched Blue Ruin recently, it's not that funny.
Not at all.
Not as funny as I remember it being in the cinema, which is weird. I remember it being like quite black comedy, but it's really not. No. It's really hard. Right. But it's kind of about, he makes these like really small sort of like crime films, and this is even smaller than that because it basically takes place in one place, the green room of a club.
Right.
And the idea is that this sort of hardcore like skinhead punk band, even though they're not racist, go to play at this racist club.
I've seen. I think we ran that clip on site, didn't we?
Yeah. And then
seen that,
something happens and they get trapped in the green room.
Who's in it?
Anton Yelchin. plays Chekhov.
Alias Shawkat.
Alias Shawkat, who's in Arrested Development, and Patrick Stewart as well.
Right.
It's also got the guy from Blue Ruin, who's an amazing actor. Yeah. But, yeah, Patrick Stewart is in it, and lots of people said that they didn't like his accent. He's doing whatever accent he wants in it.
It's less the... Well, I haven't seen it, but it's less the accent than the role he's playing that interests me in that film. I've never heard of Patrick Stewart playing anything like that role before, which is really exciting.
But that's the thing, he does it he basically plays like the head of the skinhead gang, but he does it in a way that is really creepy and horrible. He's really calm throughout the entire film, even though like mental stuff is happening constantly. And his calmness is really eerie. But there's a lot of really nasty people in. There's a lot of really nasty scenes in there.
I listened to Patrick Stewart talking about it on The Nerdist, I think, recently, and he mentioned that when he first got the script, he read through it, put it down, turned on all the security lights in his garden, and just got a massive scotch and looked out of his French windows for hours. He was just terrified of it. Which that kind of sold it to me. I was like, all right, and he's the one doing the horrible stuff.
It's just brilliant. I didn't see any trailers before going in. So if you can go see it without seeing any trailers or watching anything about it, then definitely do that.
Now, is he doing like colours on purpose?
I don't know.
Blue room, green room.
He is.
What's next?
Maybe he is.
Red Sea.
Yeah.
That'd be right.
Actually,
sounds all right.
This guy makes these like little films that like, every year that I've seen one of his films, I've been like, shit, that might be my favourite film of the year.
Was Blue Ruin his first feature length?
I think so.
Yeah.
That was like 2 years ago, something like that.
They'll have him doing Marvel soon.
Yeah.
He'll be one of them.
Or Star Wars. He'll be doing one of them,
what if he did that rumoured Boba Fett one? Really brutal, horrible, small-scale Boba Fett film. That'd be great.
It's not going to happen.
No, I know, but I just like to think and be better than Hollywood.
I tweeted the other day saying like it's a perfect date movie, but hoping that maybe someone would take someone on a date to see it. But maybe you can, and maybe that's what your relationship needs. But I don't know.
It's a properly brutal film that's full of horrible scenes.
Yeah, it also feels kind of video gamey as well, because they've kind of got to like escape and they've got to do all these different things to try and get out, and everything keeps going wrong for them as well, which is really, really harsh. And it's just got some. It's got some really nasty bits in it.
Is the music good?
Music is... If you're into that music, I guess it probably is good. Right. I don't know. But I'm just not into that noise at all. It's just like shouting, like kids shouting with really horrible, heavy guitars. Because I got invited to a couple of things where they were like, oh, we're going to have a couple of bands who are similar to them playing. And I was like...
I'm all right, thanks.
I probably won't go to that, even though I really want to see the film again. I might not go because I just don't think I could listen to that music because it's like people chucking themselves around. And there's one scene actually where there's I wish it was anything but that music because it's shot beautifully and it's like loads of slow motion. These skinhead punks sort of like chucking around and moshing and like punching each other and stuff like that. And it looks awesome, but the music's terrible.
You just want it to be Claire de Lune or something.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's Green Room. Definitely go see that.
Oh, I'm well looking forward to that.
So, Game of Thrones, we're now on...
It's a TV show.
It is a TV show. We're on episode 3, I think. That's,
episode 3 just gone,
where we're up to. So you interviewed Bran last week.
I got properly done over with that because they were like, oh, we're going to bring Bran into the office. Isaac... something.
Hempstead, right?
Yeah, he's got a brilliant
Isaac Double-Barreled name.
Yeah, Isaac Double-Barrel came into the office to talk all spoilers about this episode, which is a big episode for Bran. And we obviously said, oh, well, it's not on here till Monday. Can we get a screener of it? And I think initially we were going to get a screener of it, and then they were like, oh no, we're not getting a screener of it. Yeah. So the way that I experienced this episode was by an email that was sent to Krupa from HBO that was just like, this happens, then this happens, then this happens.
I thought you were going to say it was just Bran telling you all the spoilers and you freaking out in front of him.
No, that would have been really good, actually. Although, to be fair, I didn't know I was doing the interview, so we were setting up and everything. And Krupa was like, oh, you ready for this interview? I was like, yeah, sure. I'm just going to press record on the camera and make sure he's in frame and stuff. And Krupa was like telling me all these different things. Krupa was really into sort of like myths and rumours and stuff to do with the show. I actually just like the show like enough that I watch it. And Krupa was like, oh yeah, what about this? And I was like, yeah, that sounds really good, man. He was like, do you think you understand that? I was like, yeah. Okay. Oh my God. I was like, Krupa's asked me loads of weird questions today. And then he was sitting in here getting his makeup done. Isaac, not Krupa, sorry. I walked in, Krupa was like, you ready? I was like, yeah. And he was like, go on then. And it was the day after we'd been out. Yeah.
Oh, it's literally. Oh my God! Right.
And so that's why I run out. I was like, "Oh, you want me to do the interview?" And he's like, "Yes." And I spoke to Dale, and Dale was like, "Yeah, you're doing the interview. Like, how would you not know this?" And I was like, "I don't know."
It was like Jeremy Beadle's going to burst in the room.
Yes, but it was like proper like.
Dead?
Yeah,
that would be amazing. Yeah,
that's the
extra. Bring him back.
I've been to his grave.
Have you?
Yeah, it's in Highgate.
Is it?
I went to see Karl Marx's grave, and he's quite close. So
is that the same cemetery?
Yeah.
I've been in that cemetery. I haven't seen Jeremy Beadle's grave.
His grave says something like humorist, broadcaster, and curator of oddities.
Didn't say watch out, Beatles about.
It doesn't.
Should have watched out.
That'd be awesome if there was like a little pressure plate and you turn around and a cardboard cutout of him's just shot out of the ground.
Custard pie in your face or something.
But so I run out and was like, can I get some hair gel? Then run back in.
Oh, that's why you came in. Right.
Looking like dishevelled, like I've just been naked and I got
So
a test.
did you get the whole episode spoiled for you or just Bran's bits?
All of it.
Oh.
Yeah, even the bits that didn't need to.
I was going to say, his
spoiled.
bits were pretty small.
Yeah. Well, I got the entire thing that's spoiled for me. But I'm actually really enjoying this series.
Yeah. Yeah, because so people who've listened to the podcast for a while, last year I said that was my last season of Game of Thrones.
True.
For what happens to the child of... so is it Stannis Baratheon?
Oh, yeah, as in...
The little girl.
She called Mira?
The poison. She gets poisoned on that ship.
No.
Oh.
That's a different one.
Different girl.
That's Marcella.
Like, spoilers.
Marcella, yeah.
Burned alive.
That was... Right. Effed up.
I'm back!
Right. So as...
Dragon scale face.
Yeah. So as a parent... right. As a parent, I was like, that just doesn't need to be shown.
Yeah, that was nasty.
And it was pretty horrible. And that, for me, was the thing where I was like, it's gone too far. And then the first
They lingered
episode,
on it a lot as well.
Yeah. And then the first episode of this one, with what happens with Ramsay Bolton and the hounds and the baby, I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that wasn't very nice.
I agree with you. I think it's really good. I think it's a strong season so far.
Yeah. Well, that was episode 2, I think, because there was lots of horrible stuff happening in episode 2. Like, episode 2 was bonkers good.
Maybe it was episode 2, Yeah.
But... I really like that bit. I think Ramsay is so good.
Well, obviously he's the kind of new Joffrey in terms of hatred, but I just want so many bad things to happen to him.
Do you?
Yes.
See, I really love him. Like, I don't know why. Like, with
monster.
With Joffrey, like, I hated. He's a horrible little Weasley guy, and like, you just wanted him to die all the time.
Yeah.
But with this guy, there's something really cool and charismatic about him, and he's Welsh.
Obviously.
There we go.
But I love that guy in
I think he's fantastic.
Misfits as well. Like,
I know, still Misfits.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, I never watched it. But I just think there's something about him that every time he's on screen, your eyes are just completely drawn to him.
Properly nuts.
Yeah.
You're not quite sure what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Well, I've said before on the podcast that I don't watch the show because I read all the books because I'm a nerd. But Ramsay and I don't know whether it is the same in the show anymore. But like Ramsay, there's a feeling that you will root for him a little bit because he has that, like, he's like evil Jon Snow in that he's the bastard trying to make good.
Yeah, but hasn't he been treated like shit his entire life, like really badly? So it's basically like Jon Snow was like welcomed and treated lovely. Yeah. He was treated awfully. I've just made that up. I don't know if it was right.
But he's got this. So there is that sense that you have that underdog feeling for him, but it's like he keeps getting worse and worse and testing your limits for how much you can root for a guy who's been hard done by. And then he starts, doing stuff to people's balls. And then I'm like, nah, bad guy.
Yeah, he's done... Well, the last episode he did something pretty horrendous. Again, I won't say what it is in case you haven't seen it.
But... episode 3 does something?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've had that bit spoiled.
No! So you haven't actually gone back and watched it?
I watched it with my girlfriend. I only see her on weekends, so I've got to wait. I've had to wait.
Right. In that case, I definitely won't see what it is.
Oh, yes!
But he's just an awful awful character. I'm sure the actor is lovely.
Of course he is.
But do you get that perverse enjoyment of watching horrible stuff?
No.
Done.
But he just killed a kid, so I'm guessing not.
I suppose. No. So you just want him gone?
Yes.
Interesting.
In a really horrible, horrendous... I want his nuts chopped off first.
But now you're Ramsay.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to... Well, yeah,
You've lived long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Exactly.
That's not what you want.
But
I don't think he's going to get as good as come up. I mean, it's kind of building, I guess, that maybe Reek will come back. Is Reek dead now? I can't remember. What happened to him? No,
he's still.
Yeah, the last I saw of Reek, they were just taking him back.
Yeah.
And they did the worst job of running away ever.
Yeah.
Just like with that thing, just run away and then he hid under a tree or something. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
but no, she
that's right. Yeah, she got rescued by the thing.
Brienne,
yeah.
Tarth, yeah.
Tarth, that was good.
Yeah. Have you actually watched this season?
Yeah, but the last when I watched that episode, it was like 2 weeks ago. So it was,
Right, it's a long time.
Long time. So much has happened in my life in 2 weeks.
Go on. Fill us in.
Well,
bullet points.
Well, I came here. I went home.
There was the brand thing.
There was the
that was a
nightmare.
Didn't see that coming, literally.
Oh, you make me out like I'm not a professional every second of the day.
You don't need my help, man.
I quote from you. I thought I was just going to press record on a camera. You've not covered yourself in glory, mate.
Which is probably how you would sum up your job, right?
Absolutely not, no. You can't put into words what I do at this place.
Yeah, you can. You said it earlier. Every second of the day, I edit myself and I hate it.
That was before we started recording, though.
No.
Yeah, it was.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
yeah.
well, I've peeked behind the curtain. You said it.
Gav hates himself.
So you've watched... Sorry, you've read the books.
Yes.
But obviously they're going off in a completely different direction.
Yeah, no, that's
now.
the annoying thing, is like from about the middle of last season...
Yeah.
Because I'd always talked with friends watching it and kind of got to reminisce about it. It was quite nice. And then they started saying stuff, like there's always been little differences, but they started saying stuff and I'm like, that has definitely not happened.
Yeah.
And so I've suddenly realised that either I just stop listening or I watch all the episodes.
Yeah.
Which might happen. It seems like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
I don't know whether I can be arsed.
I remember when...
I've got loads of things on.
I remember I watched the episode we watched the episode with the fight between the Mountain and the Red Viper together in Spain. We were on holiday in Spain, and I watched it with everybody else who knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like 5 other people, me in the corner just going, yes, this is amazing. And like 5 other people going,
glum-faced.
Poor kid. He's about to have a really shit day.
Martin's done it again.
Yeah,
that was really interesting. Like watching that scene played out, and you kind of forget he does that really well in the books as well. Like it has the exact same feel where you're like, he's doing it, dead, and that's that's it. It's horrible. Such a I was going to say gut punch, but it's
that is one thing I don't like about this series is what they have done with the Mountain, because he looks ridiculous. He looks so stupid.
Isn't it like the third actor, or is it just the second one?
No, I think it's the same guy.
Is it? They replaced him once.
That giant, but it's now the famous giant dude that's always around the place.
But you can't see him.
No, you would just see his sort of like Frankenstein-y face.
Yeah, what happened? What happened?
He got killed.
He gets poisoned,
That's
and then
right.
well, this is from the books. I don't know if it's the same thing. And then like
Old man brings him back.
Qyburn, like does some sort of creepiness to him. But I think. Or maybe in the last book he comes back, but certainly in the books you just hear him screaming in a basement for ages, and I don't think he really comes back.
Because I thought he looked like a lizard underneath his helmet or something like that. He's got these like weird green eyes and
Killer
stuff
Croc.
going on. Exactly.
I don't like that. Like it should be more normal. I know there's dragons and shit.
Actually, you should watch this episode because there's a fart on it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I know you like farts.
All right. Best episode of the season. Right. Overwatch
is the best.
Okay.
We've talked about Overwatch already on the podcast, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. It's just, I've been fully obsessed with it since the open beta happened. And, like, genuinely, I can already see it being my game of the year. Like, I'm so in love with everything it's trying to do with shooters, which, like, I'm not great at, but I'm doing quite well at this one, and it feels like their changes
feels like you found your character.
Well, I found a few, but that's kind of the point.
No, you always pick the same character.
Which
Who's
one?
the character you go?
I don't always pick Bastion. I did that for 3 matches because we were against a bad team.
Who's Bastion? Which one's Bastion?
Bastion is the big robot that can turn himself into a turret and then turn himself from that into a tank, and it's great.
It's one of the losers. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, no. We played one match where after I destroyed them as Bastion, the entire team on the playing the opposite side, turned themselves into Bastion. So we all turned into characters that take him down really easily, and just went around behind them and destroyed them. It was great. It makes you feel really good. But actually, speaking of the way Naughty Dog get those little details, I think that's the thing that's consistently impressed me. Not just like the big overarching game theory stuff, but their attempts to make everything have this personality and there's this sense of a story hovering around that you're not quite sure about is really nice. Down to like, I was playing a character called Diva, who's like a little well, I don't think she's a little girl, but she's like a young girl in a mech suit with shotguns on it. And I was walking around this arcade, shooting arcade machines. And just out of nowhere, she just suddenly goes, "No one will beat my high scores!" And you're like, that's a really nice thing. I now know a little bit about her personality.
Yeah,
I was like, that's crazy. I can't believe they've put this much effort into just some stuff.
So that would only be said if you did that thing.
Yeah. Like, I don't think that appears anywhere else. And then,
that's cool.
I've started seeing YouTube videos pop up. So there's, like, little physics objects. And everyone, when it first came out in closed beta, I remember PC Gamer running a thing about the physics objects in Overwatch are amazing.
Yeah.
And they're like basketballs that bounce around, so people started playing games with them.
Yeah.
And I saw a YouTube video pop up the other day where a guy stuck traps onto a basketball, and then another character shot them all the way across the map, and then shot them into a character.
Right.
Using, like, physics objects as projectiles.
That's so clever.
I'm like, I can't believe that this is in this game and that we can use this as a legitimate tactic now. It's great.
That's wicked.
Yeah, it's just these constant tiny little revelations you have as you play.
Yeah.
And I just can't see anything else capturing my imagination in the same way. I can't stop thinking about it and how I can improve.
When is the full thing out? Because I completely missed this.
Yeah, it's like May 24th, May 26th.
Oh, class. So close.
Yeah.
I'm going to force The Office to play that game.
Yeah, I really want to play it because I didn't
good.
get a chance. I did the stream, which I didn't play it, played a little tiny bit before then. But we've got like the collector's edition. Do you reckon the game is in that? Do you reckon it's open? But then no one will be online. You'd be playing with yourself.
Yeah, servers are off, I guess.
So we've still got that here. Nobody's actually bothered to check see if the game is in
I've
it.
literally just thought of it now. The game's in it.
I'm having that.
Okay.
The game's in it.
What format is it?
Don't know.
Also don't know.
Don't know.
Right.
Can you play PC with PS4? No.
No.
That's annoying. Yeah. But then PC players are just better. So I don't want to play with them. PS4 all day.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, Yeah, I started playing I went to like a preview event for Battlefront, and then I had to wait, and you could play with a controller or you could play keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
And I decided to have a go at keyboard and mouse, and I found that I was better than everyone in the room, and I was like,
really?
This is good.
Weird.
Because everyone was used to playing with things, weren't they?
You get super accurate with mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
Like long distance shooting, like pinpoint accuracy quickly.
Yeah.
You just don't get that on pad.
No, I guess not.
I almost prefer that. Like in Overwatch especially, where there are like several characters with moves that make their aim better.
Yeah.
It's kind of better that it's slightly hazier on the
But like, because
accuracy
I was playing as Widowmaker a lot, and there's a sniper, you just don't quite get that quick aim accuracy.
I can see that. Does that put you off what you want to do?
No,
or does it make you
I
do
just
other
use
stuff?
it as an excuse, quite frankly.
Fair enough.
If I never score well, it's like, that's controller in it. If I was on mouse and keyboard, I'd be amazing at this.
Kicking your ass.
You played it less than me. What do you think of it?
So it's probably the biggest surprise game. I thought I would hate it.
Yeah.
Do you like Destiny?
It is okay.
Is it because of the
mechanically?
stuff?
I really like Destiny, but like I couldn't be bothered to play it.
Yeah.
Like, I think that the shooting is pretty strong, etc.
Yeah.
But I don't particularly like the world or the environment or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so, like, looking at this, and like everybody else on the planet, I probably lumped it in with Battleborn. I was like,
Yeah.
And also, I quite like shooters that are a bit more straightforward. There is the objectives are key to this, and switching out and playing it tactic, which goes against everything like Rainbow Six, which I really like. Sorry, the Rainbow Six DLC is out today.
It's just come out,
Damn it! Why are we podcasting and not playing that? But having played it a lot, there is so much to it. That's, I guess, the biggest takeaway. I was like, oh my god, I need to really figure out how to use these characters.
Yeah.
Because even Widowmaker, who I've used the most, and switches between an assault rifle and a sniper rifle, depending on your primary and secondary fire. But she's got like, I didn't find out she's got the grappling hook for ages.
Really?
No. So
that's a whole advantage.
No, well, I know that now.
What could you do with that?
Well, you get up high and find really good kind of snipers.
So, like
most
there are areas of levels where most characters can't get, basically, which is
all
cool.
the big fat ones.
All the big fat ones.
Yeah.
And now I know how to use it. And she's got
really
like poison grenades as well. So
that's cool.
It's really good.
I need to have a go on it more.
Yeah.
But it is, it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But that's, for me, it's figuring out, working better as a team, because it's So like it's always too many sniper people in there or whatever. No one ever plays support, which I can kind of get. Yeah. Although I was playing as somebody who was a support role, and he was kicking my ass.
Really?
Because normally you're just there to like do health, but other people have got stuff that impacts your abilities. It kind of has a negative impact on you. And so I think it's just figuring out how to play as those characters and how to play them as well.
I watched a game that you guys were playing yesterday, and Alicia, it seemed like she was doing a really cool thing, which is like, I think she was support. Yeah. She was up on high, like healing you guys with someone from really high up. Yeah. And I was like, that's actually really smart to get like a really, really like good like vantage point and still be able to heal. Like
so that people don't start targeting you.
Exactly.
Like we had an amazing match the other day, the one that I keep telling people about, where me, you, Alicia, and like some randoms were playing a match where Creeper. Oh yeah, that's
some random dude.
That guy. And like I was Bastion, proving your point. So I was just staring down this corridor where they kept coming from. Yeah. We had two guys with shields in front of me, providing 2 layers of defense. You were up a vantage point behind us, sniping people who came in from the sides. Yeah. And Alicia was healing the guys with the shields as they got hurt. And we dominated. It was ridiculous how well we won that game.
And then like the next match when there's nothing like that cohesive plan going together, it's like, ugh.
But it shows you that like once that works, it's not only how it should work, but that's the satisfying element of the game. It's like teamwork is everything to it. Yeah. So even if you feel like your character's not got that much to them, the people around them are going to make them feel way stronger. And stuff. So good. It's brilliant thing. Game. Yeah. So that's all I'm going to talk about on Podcast Forever.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Done.
Awesome.
It's back.
It is back. Rory's promised me a goddamn awesome jingle for Keyword Countdown.
I remember someone sent one in.
What?
Yeah. Like weeks ago, but because you haven't been here, I forgot about it until now.
Well, my favourite one to do is like the...
The Who?
Yeah, Teenage Wasteland.
Keyword
Countdown. Keyword Countdown. It's good, isn't it? It really gets in your head as well.
That is in my head.
Keyword Countdown is back.
How many times have you played this?
Once, and I got 1 right.
All right. Yeah. I've played it once, and I lost to Rory Powers.
Yeah, I lost Rory Powers.
Oh my God.
Well.
Magic. Yeah, so...
This is going to be the worst game ever.
This is the relegation scrap.
Everything to prove. So Keyword Countdown, if you don't know what it is, and it hasn't been on for weeks, is IMDb have some crazy keywords for their films, and I've picked 10 of the best for 5 different films, and you need to tell me what the film is by the keyword. Right, okay. I was trying to think of something else, and I was trying to think you don't have a pen in your hand, which I was meant to have. Okay, here we go. Right. Film number 1. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 1980s.
Teen Wolf.
Back to the Future.
Springwood, Ohio.
Springwood, Ohio.
Subjective Camera.
The Goonies.
What?
15-year-old.
Stand By Me.
Villain.
Oh my God.
15-year-old.
Villain not really dead cliche.
Oh, the Teen Boys. Lost Boys.
Booby Trap. Child Killer.
What?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Burned Alive.
Lovely Bones.
The
Game of Thrones.
Child.
Pulling Something Out of a Dream.
Golden Child.
Pulling Something Out of a Dream.
Pulling something. Oh, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Pulling something out of a dream.
Well done.
Child Killer makes sense. That's only 1 point,
Golden
isn't
Child.
it?
Golden Child. Oh man, what a film.
Yeah. That is a good film, but I've just not thought about that.
I'm going to watch Golden Child this weekend. That's such a good film.
That's basically I'm going to just name Eddie Murphy.
I'll do an Eddie Murphy special. Yeah. Okay.
Was that 1 point?
Second film, you got 1 point. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing.
That's
Thanks.
true.
Sorry. I didn't actually mean like that.
I mean, it's true.
Come on, twat.
Second film. Part of a series.
Star Wars.
Nevada.
Star Trek.
Nevada. Desert Town.
Dune. Tremors.
Yeah! Holy shit!
I did not expect that to be the answer.
How did you get that?
I just thought Desert Town, and it's all in that Desert Town, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He's banged out 8 points with that.
You two you're in cahoots.
I wish that was so good. So yeah, Desert Town. The other clues: Underground, Elephant Gun, Survivalist, reference to National Geographic magazine, Seismologist, Eaten Alive, Giant Worm.
That's when I would have got it after that.
I would say that, like, Desert Town, that's an easier keyword than, like, reference to National Geographic magazine.
If you've watched Tremors.
Yeah, they're not really in order.
Well, I don't really
sometimes they're in order of, like, hard to think, but sometimes it's just random.
All I really remember.
Depends how long I've got to do it. And I forgot to do it. Then Joe went, "Are you doing keyword countdown this week?" And I pretty much run up the stairs to do it. Like Homer, when he forgets Marge's birthday, like, "Oh yeah, I'll just go upstairs to get your present."
I really remember. Yeah, the only bit of Tremors I remember is like that bit where he's standing on a barrel or something. That's it. That's all I know. That might not even be in the film.
I think they're making a TV show of Tremors.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Nice.
It's gonna be shit.
Did you always go this quickly as well?
What do you mean?
Like,
Slow down a bit.
Yeah, like I've got an old man.
Okay.
Head. Old man head.
I've got an old man.
I've got an old man.
He's really putting me off.
Film number 3. Small town.
Tremors 2.
Amusement park. Nipples visible through clothing.
Oh, I should know it from that.
Homoerotic. Mohawk.
Adventure Land. Lost Boys.
Lost Boys. Yeah.
Homoerotic.
Nipples visible through top.
Yeah.
Were they?
Can't remember.
The other one's leather jacket, hanging upside down,
Right.
burned to death, throat slitting, vampire.
Did you just choose ones that had burned to death in them?
I didn't. That was an accident.
2 out of 3 have had burned to death.
No, burned alive, burned to death. In my defense.
Exactly the same thing.
But that is interesting though, because something in my head must have gone, "Oh, burned alive." When I saw Nightmare on Elm Street, gone, "I'll do another one there. I like that."
So do you just choose these movies randomly?
Yes. Sometimes
We
there's
should be researching you more than these.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
Sometimes there's a theme. Like sometimes I'll look at the running order, and then if we're talking about a specific film, like old films or something like that, maybe I'll do a theme.
All right,
But,
next one's Green Room.
yeah.
Well, these are all 80s films.
Yeah.
Right.
I think they might all be actually. Okay. Film number 4.
Yep.
Detective. Suspect.
Great. 7.
Sexual attraction.
7.
I can't remember the name of any film.
Sexual attraction.
Villainous played by lead actress.
Oh!
I think you've got it.
Sharon Stone, but I can't remember the
Woman
bloody film.
stabbing lover during sex.
Oh, Fatal Attraction.
No.
Female removes her clothes.
Crotch shot.
Male-
Oh, what's that called?
male-
Basic Instinct.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called.
Thanks for the extra keywords. I remember.
I knew you had it because you went. You almost said B. I was
Right.
like, he's got it.
You almost said B.
God damn it.
Joe, I mean, is steaming away with this.
Yeah, but I knew that one, so
Yeah, that one. That feels like a hollow victory.
I get 15 points for that.
19 points. Joe's got.
Do you want 2 out of my 4 points from that one?
That's
I don't.
madness. Okay, here we go.
I'm really bad at remembering stuff.
But you get better, maybe. The more we play.
This is going to help my Alzheimer's,
Jesus.
is it? Great.
Yeah, it's good. It's like brain training.
good.
Right now, you've got the brain of an 86-year-old.
Oh, imagine you done up like Dr. Kamoshima.
Here we go. Film number 5, the final film.
Yeah.
Keyword countdown. Castle. Title appears in song. Surrealism. Egotism. Rose.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah! Holy bananas, Joe.
I never want to play this game ever again.
It's alright. That's what Krupa was like when he lost really badly. Well, he's like, go stupid.
I reckon I've smashed it up the table there.
And then the week after, he done really well. He's like, I love this game. I absolutely love this game.
I think this game's great.
But I was bad last time.
No, you good.
No, I wasn't.
So
no,
silence.
I lost the powers. Come on.
Powers is better than
Powers.
this. Like, you think he's got a really young mind, doesn't he? He's got the mind of a 6-year-old.
Elastic. It's got an elastic mind.
and to be fair, he's only seen 10 films, and I've always done those films.
Yeah.
for him.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
It's just like, is it Garfield? Yes. Is it Garfield 2? Yes. But also, while we're on the subject of Beauty and the Beast, have you seen the cast for the live-action Beauty and the Beast?
I have not.
It's mad.
Oh, wait, no. Wait, were we talking about this?
Yeah.
Oh,
I keep
actually,
talking about it. Anyone will listen.
It was good.
It's so good. So, Beauty and the Beast is probably my favourite Disney film. Like, it probably sneak into my top 10 films anyway.
I am very surprised about that.
Brilliant film.
That's all right.
Oh, Joe.
All those living house ornaments can fuck off as far as I'm concerned.
How
I
are
hate
they going
those
to do
guys.
that in the film?
But they do really good songs. I don't know.
They're not going to have the songs in the film, are they?
Yes, they are. It's gonna be like a proper musical, not
full.
like The Jungle Book, where
Yeah.
it was like 2 songs in it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Who's
Well,
directing?
Cinderella was a really good adaptation as well.
I haven't seen that.
Kenneth Branagh, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it?
He's good. I like
I'm not
him.
sure who's directing it, but the cast, right? Belle, Emma Watson.
Good.
I've only ever seen her in Harry Potter, really, but I got no qualms with her now. Like, I think she's really good.
Seems interesting.
That's very big of you.
She's pretty, and you kind of need to be pretty. I didn't say the other clues for the other keyword count. Sorry. Village, anthropomorphic clock.
Fucking hell.
2D animation, beautiful girl, beast.
If you didn't get it for the last two, you'd be like, what is that?
Playing Beast and the Prince is Dan Stevens.
Who's that?
Remind me.
He's the guy.
Fist Dan Stevens.
Yeah, he's cousin Matthew from Downton Abbey. And he's in the guest. He's there, actually. We've still got our guest.
Oh, he's the guest. I know.
Yeah, he's in the guest. Yeah, but I think he's brilliant. He's got beautiful blue eyes, as I recall, which is
Perfect Prince.
Big thing for
Perfect
Beast. Lumiere, so the candlestick dude.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor.
How's that good?
Ewan McGregor can barely do an American accent. Imagine him doing French.
I just don't know how they're going to do that. How are they going to bring a candlestick to life in a live action Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, I don't know. Me and Cooper talked about this the other day, actually, because I said I was looking forward more to the new Planet of the Apes, because I think Andy Serkis's sort of digital team are way better at bringing things to life. And Krupa's like, yeah, but he has only brought to life things with human faces.
Do you mean Jungle Book?
Yeah, his Jungle Book, sorry. What did I say? Beauty and the Beast?
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes, sorry, yeah. His Jungle Book. And I said, I didn't really feel like the wolf was alive. He was just kind of moving his mouth, and then people's noises coming out of it.
I was going to say they're going to try and do that with these, like just have a candle, like just flopping, like just wobbling them out.
But it's an interesting point. Like, how are they actually going to do that? I hadn't even thought about that. Because playing Cogsworth, so the clock, so at least you've got something to work with there. Because it's basically a face.
It's a clock face.
Ian McKellen.
Right.
That's pretty cool. Mrs. Potts, for some reason, they've recast that, even though Angela Lansbury is still alive.
Right.
Which is
I'm glad I don't
mental.
Like Angela Lansbury really bothers me.
Shut up.
Everything about her really bothers me.
Or you're losing all your points. Emma Thompson.
See, that's way better. Emma Thompson's great.
Shut up, Joe. You're wrecking this for me.
Emma Thompson's the only good thing on this list.
They're making up a completely new character for Stanley Tucci. Josh Gad, who we had in here, is playing LeFou, so that's Gaston's sidekick. Right. Playing Gaston is Luke Evans.
Yeah, well, there we go, the Welsh connection.
Amazing casting there.
This is why it's your favourite film.
Yeah.
But no, because I haven't seen it yet. But I think that's amazing casting for a live action thing.
And I think Josh...
But until you just said it, I hadn't thought about how they're going to bring a candlestick to life.
But again, look at Disney's, like, for Jungle Book. Like, the people that are in that, it's just insane. Disney have got such power at the minute.
Yeah.
As much as I dislike Josh Gad, he's the perfect.
He's perfect. Yeah,
like
he's really good.
That is a great cast.
Yeah.
They've done well. I'm interested. I'm more interested than I would have been, I think, based on that.
But I hadn't thought about a candlestick.
Do you think the rose will speak?
Because it's just eyes and a little mouth in the cartoon, isn't there?
It's got like little flamey hands.
But how is it? Are they going to actually put a face on him and then just? It's going to look like Mighty Boosh. Like, it's going to look really shit. Isn't it?
Imagine them all in like papier-mâché costumes.
Unless it's just a VO.
For a candlestick that doesn't move.
Well, no, I'm sure. It's animated. Right. It's like CG. What was that candlestick?
I remember. It was like a dinosaur. You know, Walking with Dinosaurs.
Right.
Oh, they did that weird. Like
they did a Walking with Dinosaurs movie that basically just had Walking with Dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs' mouths or anything didn't move, so they just had voices coming out of the dinosaurs, and they just going about their normal business.
Right.
I hope it's not like that. It's just a candlestick,
just sitting on the table.
Cheap though.
Imagine if it's Emma Watson just going fucking bananas in a mansion while Ewan McGregor's talking out of a candlestick.
It's like Trainspotting too.
Yeah. But anyway, Beauty and the Beast. I'm excited for it. That was keyword countdown with a little Beauty and the Beast thing. So that's good.
Let's never play that game again.
No, let's play it every week with a jingle. Rory.
I love it.
Excellent.
Where am I in the table? Can you tell me?
You're second from bottom, but that is blistering performance. So I'll have to check.
I gave you some of those points there, basically.
You gave me 2 of them. I said I'd give you 2.
I don't want you.
You can have 2 for Basic Instinct.
If you want them. Should we do some feedback?
Just trying to help out.
So, as we go into feedback, I've actually had some personal feedback. Not mean stuff, although probably I've had mean stuff, but I just try not to look at it. But someone sent me a DM on Twitter, a guy called Harley Hood, which is a pretty cool name.
That is badass.
And basically Harley, right, won a competition. Remember when Watch Dogs was coming out? And they had a bunch of competitions on different sites. And you could, basically they were saying we're going to have all these NPCs with like backstories and stuff like that. There was a competition to get yourself in Watch Dogs.
Oh, like how Ayesha Tyler's in it.
Yeah, exactly like that. So basically, what they asked was your profession, your name, and your date of birth and all that stuff, and a photo. And if you won the competition, you just basically appear as an NPC. Harley was one of the people who won this competition, right?
Right.
And he's never been able to find himself in the game. He's contacted Ubisoft a bunch and couldn't get anywhere. I actually contacted like our people at Ubisoft today, like our contacts, and I was like, hey man, this is really weird, but told him the story. He's like, anytime. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll look into it for you. But Harley was asking, is there anyone who could check if they've seen Harley Hood in Watch Dogs?
I definitely didn't play enough Watch Dogs.
I mean, if you want to check what he looks like, he's at Hood815, and his name is Harley Hood. So, it's a pretty memorable name, I would have thought. But who the frick is still playing Watch Dogs?
But they're just about to bring out the next one, so they can go through the old code, get him in the new one as well.
But it's just like, I wonder... I think him and his friends are actively looking for him on a daily basis.
It's like one of my friends is in GTA 4.
Okay.
But again, knew which part of the city he was in.
Yeah.
And just spent days walking the streets. And eventually found himself.
Yeah.
But still, it's like, oh my God.
Do you remember when they put our old office in Zombie U?
Oh, yeah.
And then there was a big shitstorm on the internet.
Well, yeah.
Because it wasn't our choice. We didn't want it.
I'm pretty sure it was something to do...
No. It was something to do with someone in our organisation. It just wasn't us on the team.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So we worked on the official Nintendo magazine. Right. So Zombie U came out for the Wii U, and we had like the exclusive everything on it. And then it turned out like our offices were in the game and just like, is this all right? Probably not,
Nope.
to be honest. Because like we'd have had to send them scans of the office and things like
or
that.
actual inside of the office?
No, just the outside.
But it wasn't in the right place, and it wasn't the right building. It was just a sign on a building.
Yeah,
that was it. But it was really weird.
That is kind of weird.
Such a strange thing.
But then there's what is it like? There's an unofficial PlayStation magazine in one of the Metal Gears.
Right.
I think
that probably makes sense. There's also
equally as weird.
One of the... I think it's a GTA. Like, there's a load of... No, maybe it's not GTA. There's an open world game where a load of street signs are journalists' names. Ugh. Like, I think they're all Edge. And, like, you're just like, this is weird. how did that come about? Yeah. It's really strange. Another funny thing that happened with that Zombie U thing is when they gave us all that exclusive stuff, we had a bit of artwork, like concept art of, like, you know, a ruined bit of London. So we printed it in the magazine, then got... done really badly because in the background of one of these there was just a big sign that said "fuck off" that no one had ever noticed in our children's video game magazine. It was so funny.
You didn't notice?
No one noticed because it's quite small, but like a load of parents wrote in, all trading business got caught up. It was really bad.
I like the idea that zombie apocalypse happened and like you're like, right, I'm going to make this sign to like alive inside. So fuck off. Go away, zombies.
To be fair, that is the most London thing I can imagine.
Yeah. So if you can find Harley Hood in the game, maybe we'll have an update next week when Ubisoft get back to me, but probably not.
Sorry.
Let's be honest. Okay, so Alexandros. Oh, come on.
I cleared this with you.
But I wasn't really listening to what you were saying.
Isn't it Sotsopoulos?
Sotsopoulos. Good luck. He does say good luck pronouncing that. Okay, fine. I've been listening to this podcast from day one and it never fails to deliver. A particular highlight of mine was Dan wearing the helmet and sounding like a sad Darth Vader.
Yes. In the early days, we had a crash helmet, a dirt crash helmet.
Okay.
And Dan, we just...
Kilby?
Yeah. Okay. We used to make him do stupid stuff. Like eating Wotsits with milk and like weird things. And he just used to do it. And so we made him do a whole podcast wearing a crash helmet that was about 3 sizes too small, so it was crushing his head.
Oh, I'm going to look that up.
I should point out we talked last week about people who've listened since day one, so almost all of these have mentions of people who have listened since day one.
Yeah, it says day one listener, yeah. Yeah, because I heard you were talking about the Ellis James and John Romans podcast.
Yeah, Oneers.
On a side note, I also have a question for the show. If budget wasn't an issue, what would your ideal gaming life and configuration look like?
I chose this because I like the phrase gaming life. Like,
so you mean like I'd be a robot?
Yeah, I was thinking like, I don't know, just be like a big fat eye the size of a hatchback just looking at a TV with little arms poking out for extra controllers.
I think
gaming life
configuration, right? I was thinking about this the other day. but not like in this. But like, I think the best, we've got a really sweet setup here because we've got so many tellies and that everywhere. Yeah. But the other night after we went to the pub, and instead of going on to another pub, we came here to play video games.
Yeah.
That is the thing, because I live in a small flat, as I'm sure anyone roughly my age does. And like, you've got kids, so you haven't got that much space either. That's my ideal configuration. It's just like lots of space, so it's not boiling hot when you get 6 people into a room to play video games.
But it's nice to have something like where you've got like loads of consoles already landed up and you're kind of ready to go.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. That's the ideal gaming thing, is just not having to fiddle around. Like, it's such a faff to get anything done most of the time that like just having everything there and going,
I'm ready to go.
Switch on and we're playing.
Like when we played GTA Heists last summer, and we played them in here in the studio.
That was amazing.
So you're playing like a true multiplayer experience, but next to each other with beers and everything. That was great.
And it was like, we need to do that because that was so good.
It was really good. Yeah.
I really wish we'd captured that as well, because it would have been hard to edit, but so much weird stuff was happening all the time, and it felt like we were just laughing constantly. Yeah. We were drunk, but like, that's fine. But yeah, I think just something with a lot of space, and you haven't got to muck about with wires and stuff.
I always think anyone who gets those like mad gaming chairs that have like vibrating bits and like speakers in the head, like, I don't need any of that. Like, it's just such a load of work.
Yeah.
I want to work less.
It's a big old warehouse.
A warehouse with all my friends.
Yeah. Tom Tidswell writes in saying, I'm one of the listeners since episode 1 with Orlando, Martin, Chris and Alex. ? I was on the first one. I can't remember who else was. Matt Wells, the good old days. I was once in a pub in Liverpool after getting off the train and needed a cold beer to refresh myself. And a rough-looking gentleman asked me if I wanted to buy some Persil. I don't know what this is in relation to.
We were talking about people.
None
of us had ever been offered anything dodgy in pubs.
You've got to give us some background to this.
I was going to and I forgot.
This is like the Cat and Whistle, whatever the thing, the Road Pub or whatever it is.
The Road Pub.
Anyway, so when he questioned him why, he also offered to show me some more in his car around the back. And he ended up getting drunk with him and singing One Direction karaoke till 1 a.m. Till 1 p.m.
To 1 p.m?
Well, that's what he said. I think he probably means 1 a.m.
Okay. He's still doing it. Yeah. I'm just really interested in dodgy dudes in pubs, because I've never had that experience.
Why would you want to buy Persil off a dude in a pub?
I don't know, out of the boot of his car.
Yeah, maybe it's...
Also, if you had that, you would never go outside and look in... Well, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. I'm not that interested in Liquitabs.
Yeah.
I need more...
Well, it doesn't say it was Liquitabs.
Well, then it's not even worth my time talking to it.
Powder.
It's ridiculous. You ever been offered anything dodgy in pubs? I genuinely want to hear stories.
I used to work in a pub, so we used to get, like... but to be fair, it was like a local, but he was a fisherman, and he would literally just come in with just like a Tesco bag full of mussels. And he'd be like,
holy shit.
£3. Be like, is it worth you going out there if I give you £3?
£3.
But then he'd come out with like mackerel as well. He'd catch like 80 mackerel or something, and you could buy them off him. And
did you not just take him to a market or something, or just put him in a bag in the pub?
Well, he was like an eccentric millionaire, so I don't think he needed money or anything like that. So
that's awesome.
Like that. He was just crazy, like forager, like fisherman guy.
Millionaire fisherman.
But he was also like the most crazy alcoholic I've ever met. He's an amazing guy. He's dead now. I went to his funeral a few years back. But
how well did you know this guy? How many mackerel have you bought?
Mackerel every day.
I lived there for like 4 years, and I knew him for 4 years, and every time I went back. But like, he would ring up the pub in the morning because he's just such a bonk. And like, his dad was a like millionaire, left him all these millions, but stipulated in the will he's only allowed like an allowance, because he's just going to drink it away and he'll kill himself. Essentially, yeah. And so he would ring up. Because of this, every time he would get his check, he would just, instead of spacing the money out over the thing, he would just go on one massive bender. Wow. And the rest of the time he'd drink in his house.
Right.
But you'd ring up on the day of his bender, and he'd be like, who's working tonight? And there was like 3 of us that could take him home. It's like, oh yeah, so-and-so's working. Okay, brilliant. I'm coming out, just to let you know. Can someone take me home? You're like, yeah, absolutely fine. And he'd just come out and just the most drunk I've ever seen anybody ever.
So you enabled a man who shortly later died. That's this story.
Yeah, he didn't die of alcohol poisoning or anything like that.
What did he die of? Or is that not tasteful?
Yeah, it's not very nice. But once I walked him back, and he gave me a bottle of wine that had a cork in it, and so he drank like some of it. When I took it back to the pub, and I was like, Paul just gave me this weird bottle of wine, and we looked it up online. It's worth like £1,300.
I thought you were going to say it was full of mussels. He's just been popping them in the top.
And eating the shells. What are you doing, Paul? Next. What's the next bit?
This is Ben Hickman. We were talking in the last podcast about, has anything ever created like a long-form story in film like the Marvel Cinematic Universe has? And we said no, and we've been proved... In films. And we've been proved wrong.
Okay.
Ben Hickman. Dan mentioned in the podcast about other movies using a long-form storytelling similar to what Marvel is doing with the MCU.
Yeah.
Even though my suggestion is completely out there, Kevin Smith with his View Askew universe did a similar thing. With characters making references to each other, you could say it all came together in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, which is really interesting. I've never thought about like comedy universes existing.
It's an interesting point. I don't think it comes together like Civil War does.
No,
but
it's like it's such an interesting form. Like, I guess trying to create this world, with little stories within it. I'm really into that. It's so cool.
I'd like I think if Quentin Tarantino had been smarter about it from the beginning, because there's all those theories about all his
red apple cigarettes and all that stuff.
That would be cool if we had if we had a better understanding, it wasn't just like a theory and rumors and stuff like that. That would be quite.
His is like that bullshit Zelda universe they made up for the book.
Yeah,
where they were just like, Hyrule Historia, there's 3 different timelines. Shut up, stop asking us questions.
All the people who think that the Disney universe is one and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. What about the Pixar one? Do you believe? Do you believe that?
I wish it was.
Yeah.
And they should have made it like that. But obviously it's quite hard to do that, isn't it?
It's a weird world.
But yeah, I mean, it's a good shout. It's his new trailer for his new film went up yesterday.
Is that the one, the Tusk? Or is that old?
No, Tusk is before that. But this new film is called Yoga Hoses or something like that. And I think that's connected to Tusk somehow as well.
Right.
Is it?
I guess if you're making these films yourself, do what you want.
I suppose, if you're your own boss and Hollywood, for whatever reason, have stopped telling you what to do, why not? It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's more interesting.
Well done.
Well done, Ben.
This is from Jack Milburn. He says, hello, IGN UK. I was just wondering what your favourite podcasts are, the IGN UK podcast. Of course, I love this podcast and other IGN podcasts, apart from the anime... Oh, I shouldn't say that. You should have highlighted this in my defence.
I didn't know that was that bad.
Come on, Belle.
Someone just doesn't like one bit of content. That's fine.
I was just wondering if you had any other podcasts you could recommend. I've talked about this some
You
stuff
listen
before.
to a lot.
I listen to tons.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
I only listen to Adam Buxton, really.
Yeah.
I used to listen to Adam and Joe. That was my favourite.
Do you listen to the Kathy Burke Adam Buxton one?
I haven't listened to
Oh, it's great.
Is it? So good.
Okay.
It's really, really good. I've talked about other podcasts I like before, but I just started listening to one which is called Documentaries, which is short, sort of audio documentaries about basketball, but it doesn't matter if you're not into basketball. They are really good. Same as with Adam McKay's podcast, Surprisingly Awesome, as well, where they take a subject that should be really, really boring and show you why it's actually surprisingly awesome. Those are the 2 podcasts I like at the moment.
There's for kind of similar reasons, I'm into the Cracked one, which basically does exactly the same thing as they take an article title from the website and then they turn it into just a discussion by the people who wrote that article.
That's awesome.
Which is really interesting because it often means that they go into way more detail than those little list features can, and they're not beholden to jokes and stuff. So you get these weird histories of very specific things. Yeah, it's great. It's a really good listen.
Rolling Stone started doing that ages ago. They started doing a podcasty version of the cover story. So wherever the cover story would be, they would have the editor of Rolling Stone interviewing the person who wrote the cover story, and then what you get then is you get all these amazing stories that couldn't fit into whatever the theme of that article was, and you get to know way more about how it was written there, because for Rolling Stone they proper embed themselves with those people. They could be with them. It could be going on for months as well, where they're going on different parts of it, so you get to know a little tiny bit more. I like that. It's cool. It's good.
Yeah, I'm also into weird. Well, yeah, I'm into a lot of true crime and serial killer related stuff. Okay, because I'm it's just a cool guy. And there's a couple. Well, there's the last podcast on the left, which I'm obsessed with, which is basically 3 horrible comedians talking about the worst possible things that have happened in history. And
are they funny though?
Sometimes, sometimes it goes.
That's a no.
Sometimes it goes way over the top. But
are they American?
Kind of, yeah. You get into their groove, and you realise that the guy at the centre of it researching it is incredible at researching stuff. He reads full books in the weeks between podcasts, and creates these brilliant stories.
That's pretty cool.
Which is really, really interesting. You just have to get on board with their comedy. And there's another one called Law, which is a similar thing, but by a horror writer. So he does does like loads of research, presents it as like this tale, and then he always tries to kind of tie it into like...
are they turning that into a TV series?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
He announced that last week, I think.
Awesome.
And he always tries to kind of apply it to human life in some way, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't, but it's really good.
I'll have a bang on that because lots of people have been talking about it.
Do it, mate.
Yay.
Liam writes in saying, as someone who's currently studying game design and plans on doing a teaching course, he was wondering, do you ever see video games becoming part of the school syllabus?
Already are.
Minecraft, I suppose. There's a teaching version of that already.
Yeah, there's loads of stuff. Like, a friend of mine teaches, like, year 5 kids, so what are they, like...
Oh, I find it so confusing.
6?
Well,
no,
my
8?
daughter is 6 and she's in year 1, so 4 years old and that. Yeah.
I thought...
So
11. Okay, right.
10,
yeah,
right.
they do like programming stuff,
right.
and that, and like there's like video game stuff in there they're allowed to do.
Really?
Yeah. So they do like they've got a Sphero as well, like a BB-8 Sphero, and like part of that is you can program.
But I guess that's so. The example he uses,
okay.
he's head of schools using Democracy 3 as a way of showing how hard it is to govern a country.
Okay.
So, but yeah, like, I don't know if there are any games that are kind of super historically accurate or anything like that. Although I'm pretty sure they're just all kind of changed for artistic reasons.
Yeah, they probably just take what they like about it. Like you couldn't even say with like Assassin's Creed, really, because you take some bits and then it's like, all right, well, why is Darwin blown up there?
Exactly.
Warehouse.
That guy was nuts.
Would you remember there was that weird game show where they tried to tell history through the Total War engine, where they got a load of like nerds in a room to like play battles out, like historical battles out, but it used Total War.
Yeah.
Which was really strange.
I do remember that.
Time Warriors or something. It was really strange. Yeah. And that was kind of half educational stuff. Was it on CBBC? Or was it? Might not have been. But yeah, so there is that. Like, I'm kind of interested. It's like an easy thing, but like, if it ever became cheap enough, virtual reality could be a really interesting way of doing like just museum visits and stuff, or art and that kind of thing could be really cool. Like that would
mix
work.
the stuff that you've been hearing about, like virtual reality porn as well, getting wanked off by Darwin.
Like, children.
Oh no!
What are you talking about?
A-level. I'm talking A-level.
Oh right, yeah, that's
much better.
Kids of age.
Wanked off by Darwin.
Ever put you in front of children. Jesus.
No, I meant like older stuff.
Holy shit!
Because I think all virtual reality stuff is like 18.
I still don't think that's part of the curriculum.
Yeah.
In IT lessons at my school, we had like 2 banks of computers, and for some reason all the computers had red alert on them.
Awesome.
So what would happen is the teacher would be on one side and we'd all be playing like a LAN game, and so on one side the teacher would be looking at their work and we'd be playing red alert, and then he'd come back to our side and the other side would switch on and like play, so it became like turn-based red alert where we would do it like taking turns to do stuff, and that taught me a lot about cheating.
Nice.
So it was good.
Is
that it?
That's it.
That is it.
Well, that's it for this week's podcast.
Great stuff.
Thanks, chaps, and thank you as always for listening, and I guess we'll be back same time next week. I'm not, because I'm never going to play that stupid game you'll play again. But take care, see you later, bye!
Bye.
You should listen to the GamesIndustry.biz microcast.
More people are playing games than ever before. They've never been more popular, and yet the business behind it is facing some real challenges and changes.
There's been tens of thousands of layoffs, hundreds of studio closures as major companies face rising costs and falling sales.
There's uncertainty around the future of game consoles.
There's legal and government intervention into how games are even being paid for.
The role of AI is changing how games are being made.
There's the impact of games like Fortnite and Roblox dominating everyone's time.
And then there's the desperate wait for Switch 2 and GTA 6, and that's just 2024.
2 leading business journalists with a combined 35 years of experience offer you a weekly guide through all of this and more.
I'm Christopher Dring, head of GamesIndustry.biz.
I'm James Batchelor, editor-in-chief of GamesIndustry.biz, and you can join us every Monday for the GamesIndustry.biz microcast.
The most important stories,
expert guests,
exclusive market data,
and all in less than 30 minutes.
Usually.
The GamesIndustry.biz microcast every Monday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, I am Kristen Russo. And I am Jenny Owen Youngs.
We are the hosts of Buffering the Vampire Slayer once more with Spoilers, a rewatch podcast covering all 144 episodes of, you guessed it, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
We are here to humbly invite you to join us for our 5th Buffy prom, which, if you can believe it, we are hosting at the actual Sunnydale High School. That's right. On April 4th and 5th, we will be descending upon the campus of Torrance High School, which was the filming location for Buffy's Sunnydale High, to dance the night away to 90s music in the iconic courtyard, to sip on punch right next to the Sunnydale High fountain, and to nerd out together in our prom best inside of the set of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
All information and tickets can be found at bufferingcast.com/prom. Come join us.